does one man come to embody the hopes and fears of an entire nation? In the heart of Latin America, a story of power, oil, and survival unfolds centered around one figure, Nicolás Maduro. Venezuela, a country blessed with the world's largest proven oil reserves, was once a beacon of prosperity, but the story of its recent decades is a complex tapestry of political upheaval and economic crisis. To understand the present, we must look to the past, to the rise of Hugo Chávez and his Bolivarian revolution. Chávez, a charismatic and controversial leader, championed a socialist vision for Venezuela, nationalizing key industries and funding vast social programs with oil revenue. His hand-picked successor, a former bus driver and union leader named Nicolás Maduro, was tasked with carrying this legacy forward upon Chávez's death in 2013. Maduro's ascent to the presidency was not without challenge. He narrowly won the special presidential election, and from the very beginning, his leadership was contested by a vocal opposition. His early years in office were immediately overshadowed by a catastrophic collapse in global oil prices. For a nation almost entirely dependent on oil exports, the consequences were devastating. Shelves in supermarkets grew bare, inflation spiraled out of control, and basic services like electricity and water became unreliable. The vibrant economy of the past seemed like a distant memory. In response to the escalating crisis, Maduro's government implemented a series of radical economic measures. These included strict currency controls, price fixing, and the printing of more money, which critics argue only fueled hyperinflation, rendering the national currency, the bolivar, virtually worthless. The government blamed the crisis on an economic war waged by domestic opponents and foreign powers, particularly the United States, which imposed heavy sanctions targeting Venezuela's oil industry and financial sectors. These sanctions were designed to pressure the Maduro administration, but they also severely restricted the country's ability to trade and access international finance, deepening the economic hardship for ordinary citizens. As the economy crumbled, political tensions reached a boiling point. Widespread protests, often met with a heavy-handed response from state security forces, became a common sight. The opposition, fragmented yet determined, rallied behind figures like Juan Guaido. In a dramatic move in 2019, Guaido, then head of the National Assembly, declared himself interim president, citing constitutional articles. He was quickly recognized by over 50 countries, including the United States and many European and Latin American nations. This created an unprecedented situation. Venezuela had two men claiming to be its legitimate president. Maduro, however, retained the loyalty of the military, the judiciary, and other key state institutions, along with the support of countries like Russia, China, and Cuba. He weathered the challenge, and the international coalition supporting Guaido has since fractured. The human cost of this prolonged crisis is immeasurable. The United Nations estimates that over 7 million Venezuelans have left the country, creating one of the largest displacement crises in the world. They are doctors, engineers, teachers, and workers seeking refuge and opportunity in neighboring countries and beyond. Inside Venezuela, life is a daily struggle for millions. Navigating shortages of food, medicine, and gasoline has become the norm. Yet, amidst the hardship, the resilience of the Venezuelan people endures. They find ways to survive, to support one another, and to maintain a sense of hope and cultural identity in the face of adversity. Small businesses adapt, communities organize, and the vibrant spirit of Venezuelan music, art, and family life persists. Internationally, Venezuela remains a geopolitical flashpoint. The standoff between Maduro's government and the Western-backed opposition reflects broader global tensions. Negotiations and dialogues have been attempted multiple times, often mediated by international actors like Norway, but a lasting political solution has remained elusive. The country's vast oil reserves and strategic location ensure that it will continue to be a focus of international interest and intrigue. The lifting of some U.S. sanctions in late 2023 in exchange for commitments to freer elections shows a potential, albeit fragile, path toward de-escalation, but the road ahead is uncertain. Today, Nicolás Maduro remains firmly in power. His government has managed to stabilize the economy to a degree largely through an informal dollarization and a loosening of some economic controls, creating pockets of commercial activity that stand in stark contrast to the widespread poverty. But fundamental questions about democracy, human rights, and the rule of law persist. The opposition remains divided, and the international community is re-evaluating its approach. The future of the nation hangs in the balance, caught between the pull of its revolutionary past and the pressing need for a viable future. As the world watches, the story of Venezuela is far from over. It serves as a powerful, real-time lesson in the complexities of governance, the impact of global economics on a single nation, and the enduring strength of the human spirit. The path forward is not a simple choice between ideologies, but a complex puzzle with the lives of 30 million people at its core. In a nation defined by its deep divisions, the ultimate question remains, can a shared future be built from the fragments of a broken present? The answer will not only determine the fate of Venezuela, but will also echo across a world grappling with similar challenges of leadership, justice, and survival.